Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting France with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.
Runs, lots of runs, 224 for 6. At one stage we thought maybe they're looking at 240, 250. That's just how things go, especially when you play the Sunrisers. Jaydev Unadkat finishes well. Shubman Gill started oh so well. And there is so much to talk about, including the much debatable decision of the Gujarat Titans captain, or at least in the eyes of some of us. On Nexa Presents, ESPN Again for Timeout. We'll try our best to get it all done with Danny Morrison, Aakash Chopra, Matt Roller. I want to start with you for the simple reason that you are beginning to scare me. When you say...
Prediction.
Yeah, when we talk about... And when you say Gill's going to get 100, and I thought, jeez.
You thought I've been reading the scripts? No. It's, nothing to worry about there.
You're making the rest of us look bad. That's not nice.
Bit of luck. I've made enough predictions that have gone wrong over the course of the season. One was bound to stick.
Humble man to admit it. I want to get first comments on the score. 2-4 is good score. Is it above par, though?
I think it is good enough. 2-4 with GT's bowling. Yes, SRH's batting can be threatening, can be explosive, but they've been anything but that, barring just one game. So I'd say 2-4 on that surface. It's a good score.
Do you think they'll get run over? Do you think it'll be an early finish? You never predict that. Never predict that.
Never.
Anyway, I've got a soiree to go to, a little party later. So
What time is your party?
it's at 10:30.
10:30.
You're not making it. You're not making it.
No, sorry.
No chance.
I'll be late, guys. I'm sorry.
I do understand your point. We could revisit this first innings in a completely different text. If they win by 50 or 80 or more, or if Sunrisers have one of those days, which isn't it fair, Danny, to say that when you play the Sunrisers, no matter what their form, any opposition knows we have to still get as many, especially when it's a good surface. That look like good surface?
Yeah, it obviously was and is. But I just wondered at the bowling. I just think, again, off the boil, Shami.
Oh, yeah.
Poof, disappeared. But you're right, in terms of watching those two openers from the Sunrisers. Yeah, I'm excited. I hope they get going.
Gill.
One thing that we obviously haven't gauged from this surface yet is the impact of spin. I mean, Jishan bowled all right. They have 3 of them. There's Washington, there is Rashid, then there is Sai Kishore. So pace bowling, yes, ball's coming onto the bat nicely, but will it be the same when the ball actually starts spinning? And quality of spin will be better. So that is one major thing here.
Let's throw in there that at the second timeout, they were already managing the ground for due.
Oh, okay.
So there is that element
That is also
to consider with the spin point. Let's talk Shubman Gill. How good was that, Danny?
Shubbers. Oh, come on. Shubbers, you little ripper. Yeah, and it started with a little flick, wasn't it? And the intent was there. That percentage just keeps going up. Yeah, he is a class act. We know that. And he clearly loves batting with his mate Sai.
Loves batting at Ahmedabad. And did you sense there was a conscious effort, not to play ultra aggressively, but to play at a slightly higher tempo by the openers today?
Yes, there was. And there has to be. See, if you are being asked to bat first, obviously you have to set a total and you don't get the luxury of deciding what is the right pace to go. And if you realize it's a combination of two things actually. We'll talk about Sunrise Hyderabad, that you need to score more and all of that. But how the pitch is, and the quality of bowling. So if you see a pitch is a flat one and the bowling is flat, then you must go harder. And that's what they've tried to do, because pitch was a good one to bat on, but the bowling was middling. I mean, mediocre. It wasn't up to the standard.
I've heard pitch flat many times. Bowling flat. I think that's still a first, even though I try and hear everything. 82 in the power play.
Yeah.
Best they've had this season?
Yeah, best they've had ever as a franchise. So very impressive. I mean, I think Aakash and Danny are right. I think that was helped by some pretty ordinary bowling. I think Shami does just look so far off the pace. You guys would have watched him a bit closer at the Champions Trophy, but he obviously started with a 5 against Bangladesh, but wasn't quite up to his usual standards, I wouldn't say. And this season has just been a write-off for him, it feels like. I think he's often not bowled out. That happened again tonight. It just, it looks hittable.
Why is he so hittable? Let's ask the fast bowler first up. Shami has such a good record here, Danny.
And such a beautiful exponent of the wrist and the presentation of the seam. But knee, we were just talking before we came on, you have big surgery like that. And I don't care. I mean, psychologically for a start, and then you've got to come back and you pace yourself. But I just wonder, he's no 29-year-old anymore, is he? So it's all of those things that are stacked against you.
What would that be doing in terms of Shami and the kind of strengths he has when it comes to releasing it and getting movement of the seam?
And having played alongside guys that are very good at that, and just that wrist release, sometimes there's the saying, you put it there rather than you bowl it and follow through and present at the crease well and all those sorts of things. He may just be subtly guilty, and he'll know better than anyone, that just if I'm not quite getting through the crease, pace has come down, sure, all those things. But yeah, whether you're actually wholeheartedly getting through your action.
That's a big question then, no? Because it's not like he came back from an injury last week or last month. He started playing domestic cricket last year, and this is May already. He's played an ICC event in between. He's played a lot of games. And if he's still off the boil, and that has something to do with the injury, and we're all assuming that it is, then there is a serious question mark with regards to what happens next. Of course, Hyderabad is one story. The other is the Tour of England, where all of us were harping about the fact that Border Gavaskar Trophy, Bumrah was alone, there was no Shami. If there was Shami, things would have been different. But will there be Shami is the question. And what kind of Shami? Because, see, this is that particular, this game, this tournament is such. It does not matter who you are. Yes. If you're not delivering the goods, you will be taken to the cleaners. And right now, what I see with Shami is pace down is one bit. Second is just not enough balls getting bowled in the same area, because Mohammad Shami was always that. That is his only strength, which is phenomenal.
Absolutely, with the new ball in particular.
And he's spraying around. I keep going back to that game against Pakistan where he bowled 5 wides in the first over. Okay, that happened also about 45 days ago, or maybe more actually, 2 months ago. So if he's still not able to get the ball right, because he's not someone who will get flicked for a 6. You can drive him for a 4, you can cut him maybe. He doesn't give you that much width, by the way. But very seldom he'll go towards your pad and you can flick him for a 6, and we are very happy playing the second ball. So he's not looking good.
If I compare him to Jofra, who also started the season poorly, but found, it's fair to say, both fitness and form, and these are both bowlers who missed or were absent for an IPL 2024, which redefined in many ways the challenge for fast bowlers?
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the questions as well around Shami, isn't it? Is by missing that year, did batting change so much? But against this opening pair today, I didn't feel like they had to go that hard almost against him, because he was offering them so many freebies that they could just caress for 4. And you've seen those guys across the season. They're not always guys that are going to look to hit 6s in the power play. They just constantly hit gaps. And how many times today did Gill seem to find that gap between deep mid-wicket and long on, and it just raced away into that gap?
Gill was in some different mood today. And 10 crore, I think, is what they paid for Shami. Yeah. 10 crore is what RCB paid for Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Correct. I don't like to say
10 crore is something that they paid for Mohammad Siraj as well. He'll be playing.
Yeah, he'll be playing.
They all actually went from one to the other, right?
Right. Now, let's just get into the big talking point of that. The Shubman Gill dismissal, direct hit by Harshal Patel that found the GT captain short. However, when we were watching the TV umpire Michael Goff go through the entire process, it created, I guess, some elements of ambiguity on when that stump is actually broken and disturbed. Danny, what did you make of it?
Yeah, I thought it was out in terms of that. We discussed too about these, and you'll get more in depth, Choppers, about the zinger out of the groove and that. But I thought so. And then there was the talk, Goffey was on air saying the change of the direction of the ball, hitting that stump rather than the glove getting in the way first. But.
So I think the TV umpire articulated his reasoning well, and that he certainly saw the trajectory of the ball and said, I have no doubt the ball's hit the stumps, and therefore that's sufficient evidence. However, your view was?
My point is simple, that hitting the stumps is not good enough these days. We have seen Jofra Archer bowling at 145 clicks. It hits the stumps. It's visible to the naked eye. In fact, you can actually clearly make it that it has hit the stumps, but the bails haven't come off. Thank you very much. So you have to establish. There has to be conclusive evidence to suggest that the bails have come off courtesy that hit, the ball hitting the stumps. Because afterwards, we also saw the hands actually flicking the stumps. So in my opinion, there was enough doubt. That's what I felt. That there is enough doubt to suggest that it wasn't the ball, because the moment it hit the stumps, the zing actually didn't come on straight up.
The lights didn't come on.
It did not. So it came on when the
frames later.
And the gloves was really close to the stumps, and it looked like to me that it hit the stumps. So what caused the disturbance in the end? I mean,
And that for you is doubt.
it is definite doubt.
What did you, with those deep glasses that you have on, make of it?
I didn't have a stronger take, I would be honest. I think the main one was Gill's got to put his foot down harder there. I think I'm not sure it was a great decision to go through for that. At the pace he did, I think he could have...
You're Vasu Paranjpe type level of thinking. Don't blame umpiring and whether the catch is clean. You remember Vasu sir saying all this, no?
He's right. See, it was his call. Danger, and you're running, then you're not even putting in the dive. So I'm with him. But we are discussing what is available, what is the evidence presented to the
You're like me only. I'll try Vasu sir thing. But I say Klassen shouldn't be trying all that.
Yeah, why are you doing
Take things normally and break the stumps. That will also take care of it.
Correct.
Because he was quite short. I was talking to Anil Chaudhary about it, and he was of the view as well that what you're saying, that at the time that the ball has hit the stumps, there's no doubt the ball has hit the stumps, but the lights go on
Later.
2 or 3 frames later, at which point the gloves are closer to the stumps than the ball is, and that's when the lights come up. Therefore, he's saying it's the bails that have disturbed it. I have heard Mr. Manjrekar say this, and I agree with him on that these things are better sometimes seen in real time or without frame by frame, because we're looking at 2-dimensional pictures. Danny, you know the seasoned broadcaster that you are. When the throws come in real time, you have no doubt that at that time, in real force, the balls hit the stump. As far as the gloves go, it's close to the stumps, but has it actually disturbed the stumps and the bails at that point? Is the interpretation.
It's a bit like the catch. You know, when you get the catch and it's close.
Yeah, that is. I
should
think,
be real time, and I often
agree.
do that on air.
Real time.
Yelling down at the lazy. Mate, can we have a real time replay? I'd love to see a real time rather than blurring and slowing it down. Because who are we blaming? The legends in Japan, Germany, whoever developing the camera and what have you. Can you not get that sorted? You know, can we get in closer and cut this blurry vision out?
Anyway, I'll take a final verdict on this. Danny, you still felt after everything you've seen? Out?
Yeah, he was slack running. I'm going with Molla.
Okay, out. Akash Chopra, not out?
Not out.
Matt Roller?
I think I'm leaning towards out, but no strong opinion.
Okay.
What do you think, Raunak? What do you think?
I just
Not a loud one.
I just know that the best thing the umpires can do is reason, because they are broadcasting their voices. So if they can reason it and sell their decision, that's happy for me. I would have been fine if it was given not out as well, and he went with that line. I would have understood both, so I'm happy with that. Spoke like an official, didn't I?
Spoken like a true lawyer.
Murray Erasmus did this chat with me, and he said, we will always in these decisions see what we want to see.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Agree?
So that's where I leave it. Anyway, let's look ahead to the chase and try and make sense of this game. There's no demons in this surface. So Travis and Abhishek should fancy themselves. Do you see them firing away against a much better bowling attack?
It'll be interesting actually. So one thing that when Shami was playing at GT, the second innings was the one where the ball used to dart around a lot more. It was not as much in the first innings. But now, this season, we haven't seen that kind of swing actually, to be fair. And dew will be another factor. Gerald Coetzee makes their power play bowling even better, and the option of Washington Sundar, if there is something available for the spinners. So you you would like to fancy your chances, your Travis Head and Abhishek, but it won't be easy.
I'm not hoping. I know the spinners is out, Aakash. I just wonder, it's his first game for Coetzee.
Yeah.
If he's slightly off, that could be interesting, whether he could travel.
Well, remind us again of Gerald Coetzee's strengths as a 2020 bowler.
He's a bit of an all phases guy. The big thing is that he's just not played very much cricket recently, because he's not played since the SA20, which was back in January. I think he had a hamstring injury. But yeah, he's a big unit. He's quick. He's got a good Yorker, so he can bowl at the death as well. I think he's an interesting addition, because I think it sounds like Rabada is going to come back in the next few days. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Can they fit both into the same lineup? Maybe that's part of the thinking with leaving Rutherford out. Who knows?
And I'm curious to see who comes in as an impact sub, because generally it's Arshad Khan as well. So he's bowling with a new ball, and we're just waiting for Gerald Coetzee.
Yeah. Well, Ishant gave him the cap. Ishant is in the huddle.
Oh, he's there.
So Ishant is the man.
Ishant
Right?
Sharma could be, yeah.
Couple of left-handers, 3 left-handers in the top 3. So Ishant will fancy something at least. And Gerald Coetzee had 13 wickets last year for MI at an economy of just over 10.
Heavy, yeah.
Right. So we'll see how this goes. Game set up nicely. Let's get predictions. I still have a lot more that I wanted to get discussed. Josh Butler's innings.
Oh, he was good.
Couple of drop catches. Pat Cummins seemed a bit off. The choice of Unatkar at the end, Washington Sundar's promotion, all that
lots.
is going to be saved for the post-match show. That way I can even tune the questions according to the result. Hindsight. Always easier, my job than yours. Let's get predictions. Matt. Oh, you know what? You don't say it first.
Oh, God. Okay.
Danny.
Well, I'd like to see some entertainment. I'd like to see these openers smash it around the park, but I've got a bad feeling. Yeah,
You just want to make that
Make that party, that's the thing.
Start the car.
GT to win comfortably?
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Chopra.
GT to win.
Comfortably?
Well, anything over 25 runs is comfortable.
Mr. Roller.
I think it's going to be another wipeout. I think it's 100
Wipeout.
plus.
100 plus.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Roller, Moller, we like you.
I think he's riding a bit of a wave now.
I know.
I'm not sure if it's going to come crashing down or
Yeah, it could be.
he continues to
And
surge.
Sunrisers chase with an over to spare.
I'm going
yeah.
with that one. Don't say both now and then clip the convenient one for your social media tomorrow.
Get the car started. Please get the car started.
All right. I'm going to go for SRH for the simple reason I need the IPL to be exciting.
Correct.
So I need more teams in it. This should be fun. Sai Sudarshan is curiously the man who has been subbed out. Ishan Sharma is in. Travis Head was already in 3 overs into the first innings, or 3 overs left before the first innings. So let's see where this game stands at the end of it all. On Nexa presents ESPN Cricket for Timeout.
Ready for it.
Thrilled for it.
Presenting Franks with Turbo Booster Jet Engine.
Nexa.